I have the power. The power rankings. They're not ridiculous, they're well thought out and scientifically proven. Good afternoon and welcome back to another week of our European Power Rankings, where we look at the 10 best players around Europe based on their last 5 appearances. Who will be in the #1 spot this week? Will Ronaldo make a surge back into the top 10? Will Messi be able to challenge for the top spot? And where is Paul Pogba going to feature in this week's Power Rankings? That is what we'll bring you in the next few minutes, so let's get straight into it. But before we start, let's go through a quick roundup of last week's top 10. Propping up the table was Joshua Kimmich after some fine performances for Bayern Munich, and in at number 9 was his teammate Robert Lewandowski. Nicolas Pépé was in at number 8 after a fine performance for Lille. Kylian Mbappé was at 7, with Sebastian Haller representing Frankfurt in number 6. Number 5, Fabio Quagliarella was on the road to a Serie A record. We'll find out if he did that later on. Number 4 was Edinson Cavani, 3 was Jadon Sancho, and Lionel Messi was the runner-up to our number 1, Duvan Zapata of Atalanta. And mentioning his name and another in there in Fabio Quagliarella, we have our losers of the week. Now, it's pretty harsh to say they're losers after they've been in some fantastic form, but neither of them scored at the weekend. Now, it's not just that one game. However, given the performances of some other players, both of them have moved down. Zapata is off top spot. However, his goals have still kept him inside the top 10. But as for Quagliarella, he's out altogether. However, I think he would have been in about 12th or 13th. Him not scoring at the weekend means he doesn't get to break Totti's record of most games scored in a row in Serie A, and if he wants to do it, he'll have to score in 12 all over again. As for the winner this week, well, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not going to tell you where he's placed just yet, but he has made a surge back into the top 10, so to find out where, let's get into the power rankings. In at number 10 is Paul Pogba, back after a fantastic performance against Leicester. It was his fantastic through ball that laid in Marcus Rashford to score the only goal of the game, as Manchester United made it 9 wins from 10 under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, I know you may be wondering how was just one assist and a good game managed to get him back into the top 10. Well, as we always say, it is the last 5 games that count. Now, it's not necessarily him putting in a blinder, but others who haven't done so well. For example, the Liverpool players that would have been close to it have had a pretty poor week, so none of them are in the power rankings this week. So moving on and into number 9, where Kylian Mbappé really has his previous goals to thank for still being in the top 10. Over the weekend, PSG lost 2-1 to Lyon, their first loss of the season, and Kylian Mbappé, along with the rest of the squad, weren't very good. So it's for this that he's dropped down a few. However, in his last few games, he does have a hatful of goals, so he just manages to cling onto a spot in the top position. And on that note, another player who isn't in this list, but you're probably asking where he is Sergio Aguero. Yes, he did score a hat-trick in the weekend against Arsenal. However, in last night's victory over Everton, the 2-0 win, he didn't score and by all accounts had a pretty poor game. I did watch and did not think much of his performance. So when you add those together, he hasn't just quite made the top 10. In fact, he was sitting in 11th position, for those of you who want to know, just outside. Moving on though, and into number 8, and yet again, as seeming with the latter part in this top 10, it's a few players whose previous goals are helping them stay in. Now, I know I've just said that Sergio Aguero wasn't quite fitting in there, but he didn't have as many goals previously as Lionel Messi did. He scored 2 goals over the weekend and has a hatful before that in recent games, so even with him being injured and only playing 25 minutes in the Clasico, during which he didn't really do much, he makes it into this top 10. However, for Messi, that's a pretty big drop from 2nd to 8th. In at number 7, yet again, we have the same story. It's Edinson Cavani. Scoring a hatful of goals for PSG at the weekend along with the rest of his side, he was terrible against Lyon, so moves down to 7th. In at number 6 is Duvan Zapata. Now, we did say last week he was at number 1 after scoring a ridiculous amount of goals, but he didn't manage to continue that at the weekend, and to be honest, he had a pretty shocking game against Napoli. They ran out 3-0 winners, and Zapata really didn't do much to help his team, so he's moved down a few places. However, even with that poor game, he's still got 8 goals in the last 5 matches, so that's a pretty good return for him. As those of you are wondering, wow, 8 goals in 5 games, he must be nearer the top. The games that are the most recent count for a little bit more than the games that are furthest away. So for example, if he scored 5 goals 5 games ago, but another player scored 2 goals in the last game, their points are probably worth more. But moving into the top 5, and let's forget about all those guys who are living off past glories, living off past goals, and bring you someone who is up to date and doing a fantastic job at leading the line at Real Madrid. Karim Benzema. In at number 5, 6 goals, 1 assist in the last 5 games. He is doing a pretty good job of filling Cristiano Ronaldo's boots for the moment. Benzema is often known to go through purple patches and then other patches of inconsistency, so we'll have to see where this current form takes him. As for now, he sits in 5th position, and if he keeps up this current form, I wouldn't be surprised to see him climbing the table in the next few weeks, especially with some big Champions League games on the horizon. In at number 4, and it is a new entry and someone we've never had on the Power Rankings list this season, so it's rather exciting for me to bring you Raúl Jiménez. The Mexican Wolves forward has been in unbelievable form this season, and in the last 5 games has 4 goals and an assist, as he's been helping Wolves become the most successful promoted team in the Premier League era. By this, I mean the team that has been promoted in the following season has then gone on to finish in the highest position. Currently, Wolves sit in 7th, and let's be honest, they're not going to be breaking into the top 6, but being the best of the rest is a pretty good deal for them. As for Jimenez, it's not just his goals and assists, but his all-round play in the Wolves team has been absolutely fantastic, so he definitely deserves to sit in number 4. However, he may not be featuring again, as, let's be honest, it's quite difficult for them to keep the form up with the unbelievable players that are also in this list. But for this week, kudos to you, Jimenez. Okay, now we enter the top 3 guys, and this is where things start to heat up. In at number 3, we have Hazard. Thorgan Hazard, not Eden Hazard, who has been in brilliant form for Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga. Despite only scoring a couple of goals in the last few games, it's his all-round play which has been amazing. Again, much like Karim Benzema earlier in the list, he is often slightly inconsistent and does go through a purple patch of form. This is his purple patch. He's been doing brilliantly and really helping the team push for a Champions League spot come the end of the season. However, come the end of the season, will he be on the move? Well, recent reports have linked him with a massive move to Dortmund, and if he doesn't go there, he could go to Chelsea to replace Eden Hazard, his brother. On top of this, if he does move to Chelsea in the summer, it will save them a whole lot of money on reprinting any kits, assuming that he takes the same number as his older brother. So finally, we come to our top 2 of the week, our winner and our runner-up, and I'm going to make a case of both of them first before revealing who has taken the bacon. Is that right? Taken the bacon. But I'm going to make a case of both of them first before revealing who takes home the plaudits. First off, there's Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I know many of you have been asking, where has he been in the power rankings? Well, the odd goal here and there for Juventus, more than not a penalty, hasn't really done enough to push him in. However, on Sunday evening, he massively helped his overall rating by scoring 2 goals and providing a man of the match performance in Juventus' 3-3 draw with Parma. That may not sound like the most amazing result for the runaway leaders in Serie A, but yet again, this is the player power rankings, not the team power rankings. Those are pretty much done in the form of a league table. And secondly, rivaling Cristiano Ronaldo for the top spot is Nicolas Pépé. We saw him in the power rankings last week as he did a brilliant job of taking apart Marseille in their own backyard with 2 goals. This week he was at it again as they smashed Nice 4-0 with Pépé scoring and getting an assist. So which one out of those 2 do you think will finish in top spot? I can reveal to you, it's Nicolas Pépé. He's done fantastically well to beat out the form of Cristiano Ronaldo, but with Ronaldo getting an extra game in the next few weeks playing in the Champions League, he'll have more chance to get a better rating and take number 1 spot. As for Pépé, well, if this form continues, I've no doubt that he'll be out of the club and to a massive European club in the summer. With every game that goes by and every goal that he scores from right wing, not even from centre forward, more clubs are turning their head. For this season, he's got 16 goals and 8 assists and is deservedly, in the last 5 games, top of this week's power rankings. So there you have it, our top 10 European player power... There you have it. There you have it, our top 10 players of the week in the European Power Rankings. Thorgan Hazard in number 3, Cristiano Ronaldo as runner-up, and Nicolas Pépé in the number 1 spot. But what do you guys think, not only of the top 3, but also of the top 10? Which players would you have had in there, and who really isn't really deserving of their spot? Of course, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button, and also you can click here to check out all of the other videos that we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, until next Thursday for next week's Power Rankings, I will see you guys later.